Spinning. We're live.
It says we're live.
I was worried for a second. The little thing kept spinning. I was like, I don't know.
Are they out there? Are they watching?
Gizzard is.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's hope
that.
it is. Oh, Gizzard Gary says, yo, 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 with the trademark. The oft protested, never fully explained, but whatever, trademark.
Do we have to give him money every time he does that?
No.
Or every time we say it?
Well, I don't.
Okay.
If you've worked something out with him, that's between you and Gizzard Gary. I'm not going to judge you or say what. I mean, who am I kidding? I judge everyone all the time.
You judge everybody.
I do. Most people do that, and they just don't admit it. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Of course I do. I don't mind admitting it. Oh, the gun snob is out there as well. You know what my father used to say every time I would say, well, he would say, that's an awful deep topic for a shallow-minded person. It's like, oh, okay. Teach and I will talk. Okay, well, that's up to you guys. So, and we have the requisite 3 yos.
All right, you hit it.
You click it. You clicked it, didn't you?
I did.
All right, you do all that. I kept
trying to put it up here, and Jeff was clicking at the same time.
I was like, we click, and boom, up, boom, down. All right, so we have a very interesting announcement, one that you may have figured out. Does the show look a little bit different this week than it does most weeks? Now, if you're listening in podcast form on Apple Podcast or Spotify or Pandora or I don't even know, wherever it is.
As far as you know, it looks the same.
Podcast. Yeah, as far as you know, it looks completely different.
Totally changed.
Yeah, it's not even remotely the same visual appearance as normal. Or is it? You don't know because you're in podcast. If you're watching in one of the video streaming things, then you may have a comment like they have at Aegis Gun Care. Hey, y'all look familiar. Well, yeah, we do when you can see us, but not if you're in podcast. So we apologize that you can't see us if you're in podcast. We have committed to be as descriptive as we can for the folks that are in podcast. So what's on the screen now and will be on the screen for the bulk of this program are... I hate to refer to ourselves as the twin towers of embodiment of sexiness.
You're pretty darn close, though. Pretty darn close.
I've never heard anyone describe us that way. Also not saying I've ever heard anyone describe us that way. So I don't know. But anyhow, we are coming to you. What I was getting at with things may look different is we have reverted back to StreamYard. So we use StreamYard as our broadcast tool a year ago. And then a new one, Melon, which their website is melonapp.com. They came along for a fourth of the price, less than a fourth of the price, and said, yeah, we'll do all the same things for less than a fourth of the price. And you know what? They did. And it worked pretty well. And it had actually some additional features that even StreamYard doesn't have. But what was the catch? Why are we back on StreamYard?
Price match.
While Melon did have all those features and it did work, it worked perfectly until it didn't. And that happened more often than we would have liked. Where it
quite a few times. Work.
And I don't know if it was my internet or if there was something else going on, but I very conveniently blamed it on Melon app. Plus, I got tired of people like the Gun Snob and Ghost Tactical and Clover Tack making fun of me like, oh, you're on that low rent Melon app instead on StreamYard.
You guys shamed him into
like the real people,
game. You know? Yep.
So I said, whatever. All right. Yeah, they did.
Pressure you.
And I feel pathetic for that. Yeah. So Gary says, welcome back to the yard. All right. Yeah, I guess we are back at the yard. So I got to show something. It's funny. As soon as I talk about the folks who can't see us on podcast format, I say, let me show you something. So I'm going to describe I'm going to describe what I'm showing you here. And let me grab these things out of the box. I had a package that I shipped from Las Vegas. So when we left SHOT Show, also keeping with my my general life theme of being thrifty, that's the word that I use, is thrifty. All right, I'm playing with the colors here.
Yeah, you look sickly there for a while.
Probably better. Yeah,
there you go.
It just seems dark. Like I had so much light on me, and then
you went from like northern Minnesota to like South Florida.
Yeah. So I've got some stickers here. Rope roller. I got to figure out where that went. I actually haven't seen that. And this is a little bottle of some sort of fancy soap. Is V Native Earth's Finest? Native Plant Remedies? Yeah, I don't know. But anyhow, this soap was deposited in a garbage receptacle outside of the Spirit Airlines baggage area at the Las Vegas International Airport because my bag was too heavy. And I had to jettison that in order to avoid the big upcharge. But I shipped in this very nice looking Save Your Equipment range bag box. The president of Save Your Equipment gave TJ a range bag while we were at SHOT Show. So I said, ooh, can I have the box? And I used that to ship home a gift pack that Condor.
From Condor.
I still can't figure out why they gave it to me, but I got an email before SHOT Show that said, hey, we're trying to do something like the Oscars where when you show up, we give you this big gift bag full of stuff. And we have a bag for you. Would you like to come get it at SHOT Show? Can we reserve one for you? And I said, yeah, that'd be awesome. And actually reserve one for TJ too. And they said, well, no, we've only got one for you. So I felt bad about that, but not bad enough to turn down the gift bag that had, and I'm trying here. I listened to the Gun Tuber Academy a couple of days ago. Clover and G-Webs were on there talking, and She Fires checked in and talked about using the remix function within YouTube to pull clips out of a video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull a clip out of this video where I talk about all the stuff in this gift bag from Condor. So but now that I give that explanation, I have to start.
There we go.
Right?
Yeah.
So here we go. Here's a gift bag that Condor gave me at SHOT Show.
Awesome.
And let's talk about some of the stuff that's in it. They gave a 32-ounce double wall stainless steel insulated bottle with a solid cap on it, and
all kinds of stuff in there.
And the rope roller,
mm-hmm.
which I actually haven't seen. I think that, oh no, here it is. I just hadn't seen that when I was looking before. This is actually kind of neat. It's a cinch strap that has a little bearing system in it. So instead of just pulling over a rough surface, it actually has a roller. What was odd? Did I do something odd?
I don't know.
See, now I'm self-conscious. People are leaving comments with, and I'm like, wait, did I do something wrong? If so, well, you know what? I respect our audience. So if I did, I just want to say I'm sorry or not. You'll have to judge for yourself.
Yes, Rod. Hot mess.
I'll also throw a suck it in there just because why not? This is kind of neat. This is a Sentry Tactical Triple Arm System. They call it the Status Gen 2. And it's got a red tripwire and a green tripwire. I actually went and checked out the video. Seriously, folks, you need to go look this one up because this one is neat. It has
set one off.
Well, I don't have the stuff with me right now. I'm gonna get the light on it so you can see it. All right, this part comes off, and you can put a signal flare or a shotgun shell will slide right up in here. There's a firing pin right here. So you set your tripwire there. It has like a little safety pin you put in it. You pull it back and there's a spring pulling. And that's what will, if I let go of it, wow, the firing pin goes forward. So
they let you bring a firearm on the plane?
You put a pin through the little hole in here and hook that up to your tripwire. So when someone trips over it, it pulls it out and it lets it hit the firing pin. Or you can put primers in here, like shotgun primers. Or I believe one of these will fit like a little 22 caliber shell. I think so you put it in one way and it'll hold a primer, and you flip it over and put it the other way and it'll hold something else. And it's mainly meant to be like a noise making device. Like it's not meant to shoot. Like it's not
set
a
them up
firearm
all over the house.
And I don't think you're supposed to use like real ammunition. You're supposed to use just sound generating devices. But
just saying, I mean,
whatever.
Real
Anyhow,
cheaper.
That was in the package. I thought that was kind of neat. They had the soap, the bottle of soap here that I had to throw away at the airport because it was too heavy. Wagon Tech, WAGAN. This is an LED light.
Here, I'll put you up.
Oh, so we do that.
I'll put you up full screen.
Or it'll do that way. And it's got like a little magnet thing on here. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Methinks. Axe and knife wax from Wise Men Trading. I'm not even sure what that is. I've used knives and hatchets and axes since I was a wee little Cub Scout. And I'm not sure what this is. So I'm going to have to look into that. That looks kind of interesting. And we've got a couple more of these. Where's the other one? More from Roller. This is Roller Cam instead of rope roller. This is Roller Cam, and it's like a cargo strap that has a little a brass roller built into it to make it easier to cinch down. I thought there were two of them in here. I don't see the other one.
Maybe there was.
All right, what's this look like to you?
That looks like an old school flashlight right there.
It does. It looks like an old military flashlight, but it has an LED instead of the old school incandescent bulb. Let's see. What else do we have? We have a clean and lube kit from Frog Lube with solvent and Frog Lube Extreme Lubricant. What is this? Tactical rope dispenser from Atwood Rope Manufacturing. I think that is this. So it's got all the, you'd think with all the light I have shining on me that this would look brighter. I wonder if I turn this off behind me, will that help make this?
A little bit.
Yeah, I don't think it helped. It has a rope cutter and a little storage thing. My son looked at it and he says, "That's a flask. Why does it have a flask built in?" I said, "It's not a flask, dude. It's just like a little storage compartment." But since he doesn't drink or like drinking, he rejected the product because he thought it had a flask.
It could be used as a flask, though.
Maybe. I think it would leak. Rescue Essentials provided this hypothermia wrap. That looks pretty neat, like an emergency thing. A Travax Summit Minimalist Wallet. I've already got one of these, actually. They sent me one of those a few years ago. Unscented shower pouch. It removes odor, and I know what y'all are worried about. It is a vegan product, so.
Thank God.
Yep, I know. You'll be able to use it now.
I know.
Stickers from Scallywag Tactical. That's what it is. Yeah, I was confused there for a moment. Oh, this is neat. This is super neat. All right, this is a little Kershaw knife. And all right, here we go.
Oh, easy.
Bam! Thing about jumps out of your hand. I've never had, when I was a kid, we called these a switchblade. Now they just call them automatic knives. And we thought they were illegal, right? But look at this. Bam!
At least it's not the sharp end that flips out. It's just the...
Dude, that's like my favorite thing out of the whole bag so far, I think. This is something kind of neat. I'm surprised they put these in here. Stawn tire deflators. So if you're like a big off-road person, and you air down your tires before you go trail riding, these make it easy to do something, and it airs them down to the appropriate amount. You don't have to monitor them, keep checking them, something like that.
Fancy.
So those are kind of neat. Will I use them? Who knows? This thing from Condor, I was afraid I was going to get body cavity searched if I kept this on my bag, because it looks like a grenade. It's actually like neoprene foam, and you unzip it and you can put keys or whatever in it. But I thought that was an odd choice to give people at a thing where they're going to have to fly. Oh, there's the other.
They're just testing their limits.
There's the other roller cam strap. And we've got portable agua chlorine dioxide water treatment tablets. So if the plane went down and we didn't die, then at least I had something to treat water. Kershaw automatic knife manual here. All right, so then we had, see, this is some of my favorite stuff here. It's a stabby pen. I don't know what they really call them, but it's got a glass breaker at one end, and you can pull the cap off, and it has an ink pen on the other. So you just flip it around. You can have the pen exposed, or you can have the stabby window breaker end exposed. I thought that's kind of cool. And then there are a couple things here from Right in the Rain, an all-weather pen, and all-weather tough universal 3-pack of universal notebooks.
Ooh.
And then the Monsoon Field Wallet, which I'm not actually even sure what that's for yet. I haven't opened and gone through all of these. And then there were packets, instant coffee that actually tastes good from Alpine Start. That's what it says. I haven't used it. I don't know if it tastes good, but that's what it says.
We didn't have the coffee? What the hell?
That was dirty chai latte. This is coffee and creamer, and this one is original blend medium roast. So I think I'll hold on to those for when I'm traveling.
I'm surprised that they made it back.
Yeah, so all of that, and if you've been to SHOT Show, you know Condor has these bags all over the place that you could pick up. So it was in one of these kind of satchel shoulder bags, which I bring home as many as I can, because like my son uses them for his college class bags, and I use them when we travel and do, car shows and military vehicle shows, and I need to haul around all my promotional materials. I'll toss them in those bags. So that is the complete contents of the gift bag provided by Condor. So thank you very much, Condor. Thanks all the brands who contributed. I don't know how I won the lottery and was selected to receive one of them.
I don't know either. No idea.
Beats me.
I walked up there. They're like, "You're not Jeff." I was like, "All right."
I'm just as confused as you are. Something else interesting, and I sent a note to Jessica, who runs rogueops.com, and said, "Hey, you're invited to come on our weekly podcast. They gave me one of these little aluminum bottle openers. I'd not seen one in this shape before, but it's a SHOT Show commemorative 2023 SHOT Show bottle opener. And I also wanted to give a big thanks, shout out to Hog Holsters, helping America wear guns. And the boss man there gave me an RFID blocking little compact wallet thing at the Firearms Policy Coalition party on Monday night, kicking off SHOT Show. So there we go. Lots of cool stuff. I only have 3 or 4 of those Condor tactical bags. I love them, Gary. I had a few years ago. I'd bring 2-3 home every year, and then one year they were around. I just didn't get any. And then it came time, the show was about over. I was like, oh, I got to get some of those bags. Well, I don't know if they ran out or just stopped giving them out on the last day. But I was like, I don't want to carry them all week. I'll wait till the end of the week, and then I'll get them. Mm-hmm. And then I didn't get any. And I got home, and one of my kids was like, hey, did you get me one of those camo bags? I was like, man, I'm so sorry. So because I felt bad about that, I had to make sure I got one this time.
Yeah.
And I only got a couple. TJ and I split them. We'd had piles of them in the corner of the hotel room. And when it came time to go, it's like, all right, you can have all of these. And then the red SAR bags.
because I paid the extra for the heavier bag, so I was like, I could load mine up to 100 pounds.
Oh, and I was happy that Gary says they tried to give me a bag this year at least 2 or 3 times. Yeah, and we did get bags 2 or 3 times. TJ and I both, as we're walking by the girls at the corner of the Condor booth. They had people stationed on each of the 4 corners.
Yep.
Here, would you like a bag? Would you like a bag? And like, yes, thank you.
Yes.
And then, we could also put them in
one loop around, and we've got all 4 of them. Perfect.
Yep. And then we go get the SAR bags that they had tons of, because those are great, like lake bags, and we use them for all kind of stuff. So, all right. Whew. There was a lot of talking about swag that we brought back from SHOT Show. All right. I want to try something.
I just got a ton of patches. That's all I did.
Yeah. Oh, and I didn't show that. I said last week that I was going to show those, and I took a new picture, and then I never imported it and showed it. So will I show it this time? Too soon to say.
Knows.
Too soon to say.
I don't even know.
It really comes down to if I can find it. Because I'm not sure where I put it. I was moving right before the show. I was moving files around on my computer because I realized my picture directories from SHOT Show were incomplete. But then they had a lot of duplicates in each of the different directories, and I was like, this doesn't make any sense. So I was copying things back and forth and trying to overwrite duplicates and make sure that I hadn't lost anything, because I went to edit the video for, you remember the rack, the firearms storage system that goes like under the trunk of a police car. Well, I want one to put in the ceiling of the Humvee. Yeah. So we shot a video with them, and I was like, all right, I'm going to edit that this evening and post it before the show. Couldn't find the video anywhere. So I eventually found it on one of the phones that I used for video at SHOT Show, but it certainly was not where it was supposed to be. So it had not gotten copied over to the computer. So I attempted to copy all of that just a little while ago.
See, the more technology you have, the more things can go wrong.
Man, that's a treat. Looking to see if I can find my wall of patches. Like, I swear I've seen that picture 11 times in the last 4 days.
Isn't it? It's already out in the interwebs, isn't it?
Did I put it on the interwebs?
I don't know.
I think I did.
Brilliant.
Yes.
It's because I'm on there all the time.
Let me look on Instagram. I'm going to have to remember how to share another screen here. That's going to be present, isn't it? Oh, it is up there. Look at that. Present. Let's see. Share screen. I will do entire screen, screen 2, share. I clicked it. Oh, I got to do add to stream now. Okay. Okay. I remember.
I was waiting. You're like, I clicked it. I was like,
setting. Okay. Now it makes sense. When I was going through and setting up StreamYard prior to the show, I did click something that said, when you share a screen, as soon as you load it, automatically show it. And I deselected that so that I could stage stuff and have it ready ahead of time.
Yeah, without it, you have 2 or 3 screens to share, and they just keep popping up all the time. You're like, son of a.
Yeah, so if I didn't show these before, I wanted to show off a couple patches. A lot of people like the kind of yearly patches that people put out, like the Palmetto State Armory, SHOT Show 23, the Maxim Defense, the PDXSD 2023.
Was that the special patch?
Yeah. Yeah, they wouldn't give you that unless someone gave permission, and then they give it to you. So I can't tell you who it was that gave permission, because then you could go, the random viewer out there, whatever, if you go to the desk and say, Dave said to give me one of the cool patches, that they'll give it to you. That's how it works. It's good if you talk to one of the Daves. They got 3 of them. If you talk to one of the Daves first. Rapid Fire, 2A Talk Radio. Finally got a patch from the MK Outdoor Journal. So Mikey is part of the Gear Report team. He gave me a patch.
Nice.
Carbon Research, still trying to get a hold of Wade. Dude gave me a business card, said, yeah, give me a call after SHOT Show. We'll set up a review on one of our carbon fiber suppressors. So then I go look at the business card when I get home. You know what's missing? Email address.
Right.
So I looked up and went through their contact form on their website for that. And maybe we'll make that happen. The Fab Bomb Girl is a pretty cool patch. The Gun Snob, I've wanted one of those patches my entire life.
I know.
So I feel like I've made it now that I have a patch from.
When's it going up on eBay?
Well, I took this picture last week.
Oh, okay. So it's already
this isn't a live picture. Ghost Tactical. So is that what he calls the Ghost 2.0 logo?
I think so, yeah.
Can you explain that to me? Why does he have Ghost 2.0?
I don't know.
I'm gonna have to ask him that.
It's Ghost.
Yeah, there's a Rogue Banshee patch in there. I'm kind of happy about that. Hog Holsters. I talked about the little wallet thing that the owner, what's his name, John, I think. He gave me that at the FPC party. CMC Triggers, SHOT Show commemorative patch. Gizzard Gary didn't get 2 of those patches. I don't understand that because Gary's more likable than me. So, the natural assumption is that if people were going to give anyone one, it would be him and not me.
Yeah.
But whatever. 511, we got those patches at their party, whatever night that was. That was interesting.
That was.
I always find it funny when I am midway through a show and one of the Gear Report writers starts sending me notes. It's like, bruh, you're direct messaging me in Facebook while I'm broadcasting.
Like, don't they know that the show's on? Aren't they watching, Jeff? Come on.
Apparently not. He does now. Okay, so anyhow, those are all the patches that I had intended to show everyone last week, but failed to do so. All right. TJ, can you find, here's a test for you since we moved back to StreamYard. Can you find the banners and switch it to recently published reviews? It's a StreamYard thing. Look at that. Recent reviews. Awesome. Yeah. So with that, we'll just move to the latest review published. It's not really a review, it's an article. Can this military surplus Humvee engine be saved? This is a video and a brief little narrative about, I say it's a video. For some reason, that YouTube link, it didn't embed the video in this article the way it's supposed to. I'm not sure what happened there, but you can click the link and then that will take you to the video that Jason sent me. It's not a very long video, but it shows the front of one of his Humvees completely torn apart. So you see the front of the engine, the cooling stack is gone. So that's the radiator and the fan and the transmission cooler and the differential cooler and all that stuff. It's all just gone. Where when he got the truck, it was missing a bunch of stuff. So he pulled some other things off. And in this video, he puts a little socket wrench on the crankshaft and attempts to turn it over because he bought this. There were parts missing from the engine, parts that were exposed. Who knows? It could be full of water. It could be rusted. It could be locked up solid. So if you want to see the condition of the engine, was he able to turn it or not? Does it look like that engine is salvageable? You can go check out the article. You can click the link and go watch the video Oh, it's too small maybe to see on the screen, but it is on the Humvee Gear Report channel, the
Mm,
absolute newest channel in the Gear Report online
there it is.
dynasty. In the multimedia online empire that we call Gear Report, Humvee Gear Report. It's at HMMWVGEARREPORT. It's a pretty cool channel. You know how I know that? Because we're almost in double digits for subscribers. Um,
Really?
and this is the first time I've mentioned it anywhere, actually. I've not publicized that this channel was up there. I wanted to get some content up. We got a handful of shorts videos that we shot out at Battlefield Vegas. I have many, 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 many more shorts videos, longer videos from Battlefield Vegas. We've got a couple more from Jason that have been in the queue to get published. And what the heck? I'll probably shoot some videos of the Battlewagon 3 and put those up at some point.
We spent all day at Battlefield Vegas.
It was glorious. It was amazing.
The Humvees, the tanks.
I'm not saying that I had a chubby at any point in the day. That's it.
Pretty much the whole day.
Yeah.
But
maybe
there was so many videos.
I'm not saying. But it was a really cool time there. If you like military, guns and tanks and armored personnel carriers and helicopters and Humvees and 4x4s with minigun mounts. That was pretty amazing, in my opinion.
It was. And they had coffee there, so I was excited.
They did. Yes. Our favorite barista, Michelle at Battlefield Brew, hooked TJ up with some coffee and allowed me to purchase some coffee. So
yes,
that's always good for my ego when it works out that way. Yeah. Ghost Tactical's got cabin fever. He's only been snowed in and iced in for a couple days, but he has cabin fever already. Hang in there, man.
Yeah.
You'll be okay. I'm not minimizing your pain or distress or anything.
We don't have those problems.
Actually, I probably am. So, yeah, yet. When you do, they're going to be bad, though, I think.
Oh, geez.
So, elsewhere in recent reviews, we got a brand new one from a dude named Ryan Owens. This is his very first article published on Gear Report. So, I'd like to show you. If you go to the Gear Report homepage, at the very top is an orange bar. We have two menu bars. We have the orange upper bar, has shop, deals, forums, friends, contact, about Gear Report. Man, there's a bunch of stuff in about Gear Report. Yeah. And right for Gear Report, if you go to that page, which apparently we're doing since I clicked on it, it will tell you what kind of things we're looking for. It will it lays out the different ways that we can work together with people. What's in it for you if you want to come right for Gear Report, what the different kind of, I don't know if we call them job titles, but we'll call them titles. You can be a review specialist or a Gear Report partner, like
call yourself whatever you want.
Tactical that you see there. Yeah. You can be a contributor. You could be a Gear Report editor, potentially. Who knows? Maybe work your way up to that. We've even got an outline if you want to submit a review to see if you can make the cut. So I got a note
on my list.
at the end of November. You should. I got a note from a dude at the end of November, and his name is Ryan Owens. And he said, hey, I am an avid outdoorsman, and I am a scoutmaster for a scout troop, and I spend time on your Philmont content on Gear Report and on the Philmont Trek Talk Facebook group created by this guy and sponsored by Camping Gear Report. He said, I would like to see if I can maybe make the cut and write reviews for Gear Report. I said, great. Take a product or two that you have and write a review using the format that's listed on that Want to Write for Gear Report page. Send it over. And if it looks good, I'll publish it. And we'll, if we get a couple of them going, I'll create an account for you and you can be a writer at Gear Report. So he sent over this one for the LifeStraw Peak. It's part of the Peak series, 8-liter gravity filter review. And You see it here, not even working as a gravity filter. That's the neat thing about this, is the core of the system is the Peak water filter, the Peak series water filter that can be used a couple different ways. This way, it's just screwed right onto a smart water bottle. You can also use it as a gravity filter, which means you have a dirty water bag, which is the gray one you see here with the hose coming out of it. That hose, the filter is in line. So gravity pulls the water down through the filter, and then you put the tube in whatever your clean water container is. So you don't have to pump the filter or do any of the put chemicals in it. You just let gravity do the work for you. Gravity filters are kind of brilliant. He gave it a 4 out of 5. Not necessarily recommended as a lightweight backpacking water filtration solution. It's a little on the heavy side for a gravity filter, but I'll be honest, it's a whole lot lighter than the pump filters that I carried back in the day. So I can tell you this because I actually own one of these, of this LifeStraw Peak 8-liter, which is kind of ironic. I didn't say, here's something I have, why don't you review it? He already had one, so he reviewed it. Weighs a little bit over a pound. It's got a pre-filter. You can use it a couple different ways. Really, really neat little system. I recommend, even if you don't want to go camping and backpacking, everyone should have some sort of portable water filter, like a LifeStraw, something from the Peak series like this. It's really not that expensive. And, when the stinky stuff hits the whirly thing, you can't live very long without water.
Would it filter out ocean water?
I think I'm not.
I'm gonna have to get one and give it a shot and see, because I have a supply, like $3 away.
That's supply of ocean water. So it's about $100 for one of these. You can get like a Sawyer filter that's similar. It might be slightly cheaper. A lot of people use those for backpacking. We keep one. We have under the stairs downstairs at my home is the only area with no windows. All rooms in the entire house, the only place that doesn't have windows is, Harry Potter's place under the stairs. And I keep a Sawyer gravity filter system and some MREs and some other things in there. So worst case scenario, and, storm blows through and tears up most of the house or whatever, that area is the most likely to be undamaged, and we've got some basic survival stuff in there. And if we ever have to like bail out of the house and run, we're grabbing that stuff on the way out the door, so that because you live for a month without food. Most people, you may not be happy about it, but you can. You get 2 or 3 days without water, and most people are going to be dead. So gotta be sure you have a water supply. So whether you get something like this or something else, that's just my little tip for everyone, is most people, I believe, haven't really considered, if their municipal water supply fails, how do they get water? Stores are going to be sold out in a hurry. What are you going to do? Do you have a water treatment kit? Do you have filtration? Most people, I don't think they do. And that's kind of scary to me. So another pro tip: if you don't have anything else, put some bleach to do your laundry. Go steal the bleach out of the laundry room, put a little bit in the water, let it sit for a while, and it'll be less, like, not a lot, a little bit, and you'll be less likely to get sick from that water and die.
And it'll be delicious.
Not really.
No.
It'll make your teeth brighter, though. Maybe.
Well, that's
I don't know.
2 for 1. I'll have to brush my teeth.
I made that part up. Let's see. The last in our recent reviews isn't actually a review, but I wanted to share with you guys again something that's going up on the homepage at Gear Report every week, and it'll happen after this show as well. As soon as I can figure out how to pull the audio file down off of StreamYard after the show, I will upload it in a page like the one you see here for episode 146, last week's episode. This is the podcast page, so you can actually listen to the show in audio format straight off of there, or we have links for Amazon, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube. Apparently we have a YouTube link, and iHeartRadio, which, you know what, I'm going to click that because I'm not even sure we're on iHeartRadio. But look at that, we're on iHeartRadio.
Oh, geez.
I don't even remember putting this on iHeartRadio. But you know how it is. The world demands excellence. So when excellence is out there, then the platforms come and get it.
So they just pulled us on. They're like, we have to have Gear Report on our platform.
I don't remember doing it. I mean, did I do it? Probably, but I don't remember. So anyhow, every week these will show up, and you'll see them if you go to the Gear Report homepage, Gear-Report.com. You will see all of the new stuff up there, including links to the new podcast stuff. I think now that I said that, the page doesn't want to load and show it to us. But anyhow, that
seems like an internet issue.
Pretty much concludes. Oh, there it is. Yeah, this week at Gear Report. Yeah, it's slow loading the pictures, but yes. So that will show up, and then the next thing published is probably show tonight. I've already got it kind of queued up and partially edited here, where I'll just have to upload the file, and then that's ready to go for episode 147, because that's what we're on right now. So I'm going to leave that one over here on the other screen. All right.
There you go.
Yes, I want to show something else here. If I can get these private messages off. There we go. So this is the Gear Report Facebook page, and you see where whenever we publish a new article, if you're not following us on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, every time a new article gets published, we share it out on all those platforms with links and pictures. But I wanted to get here because look at this.
There we go.
This is a it's TJ's putting together his AR kit for his 8.6. What is it? Is it 8.6 blackout? Is that what they call it?
Yep.
That was the big deal at last year's SHOT 2022. The big news was Guerrilla Ammunition, Q, and Facts and Firearms had kind of collaborated on this new 8.6 blackout cartridge, and we shot it at range day. I liked it. What'd you think, TJ?
Oh yeah, I loved it. It was so quiet for such a big round. It was surprisingly quiet, suppressed
through a huge lump of lead. But the recoil really wasn't bad. No. Like you'd think throwing that much lead, it would really thump your shoulder, but it was very manageable. It was so intriguing to me. So intriguing that when they offered to set us up to test it, I said, okay, TJ, you're up. So that
we're just now getting all the parts for it.
It has taken a while for this project to come together. I mean, it's been fits and starts trying to get this started.
Luckily, I just got the ammo. Well, a little while before SHOT, but it was out of stock forever.
Yeah,
on the website. Finally, I just drove down there and they had some. Guerrilla's in Florida.
That's a sexy looking kit there. How are you going to finish it?
I think I'm going to color fill the Live Free and all that, and then do everything else in something else. We'll see. I gotta get with the Cerakoter and go from there.
Right. So we talked to Marcus at Modern Spartan Systems several months ago, and he said, and Matthew Komar had, because he does a lot of Ghost Gunner 80% builds, and so Matthew's been testing their new the new coating, and I can't remember what it's called now, but we're gonna have to get a hold of Marcus and have him send you whatever colors you want so you can paint that, because it's like Cerakote, but you don't have to cook it. Like you don't have to have a convection oven or an air drying oven.
Yeah, that seemed really neat to me because I have so many Frankenstein's guns. That's disturbing.
Yeah. So, remind me tomorrow to reach out to Marcus and set that up. That's going to be a really neat test as well, because he says even though you don't have to bake it on, it's more durable than Cerakote. That's a pretty big claim. So I'm very interested to see that happen. To see you test it. But that live
Mhm.
free upper and lower looks very cleanly cut. So I'm anxious to see how that project comes
I put it all
together.
together, and then I was like, "Oh, I gotta take it all apart to get it Cerakoted," so I'll just take it back.
Yeah. All right. So I really wanted to show people that. And I don't think I was ever able to successfully locate. All right. Let me take this screen off and see if I can locate the other picture that you
There
sent
you
me,
go.
because I want people to see the all right, if I copy that from here and then put it, I'm going to put it in the This Week at Gear Report folder. Is it going to work? Okay.
I don't know. I can't tell you.
You
Jeff's
can
doing all
tell
kinds
me.
of stuff on the screen here, and like I see it, and I'm like, I don't know if he's ready for it.
All right. Oh, there it
There it
is.
is.
It worked. This is
There it
another
is.
one we've been waiting on. After shot
Yep.
last year, we thought this 8.6 was going to come together pretty quickly, and TJ's finally got all the parts to put that together, and actually has a little bit of ammo. And
I
that
know.
project has been hiccup ridden, also not moving anywhere near as fast as we thought it would. 5150. Why don't you tell them about this? This is your rifle, right? This isn't just a rifle. Like, we are
Right.
looking at your rifle
It is
that they
shipped.
built,
It's on
custom
its way.
built just for you.
It's on its way. Yeah, the Evolve 15. Yeah, we're gonna do it last year, but then they wanted to revamp the release, and they're revamping. I think they redid some stuff on the rail, so they weren't quite happy with everything yet.
So what do they call that rail? The bottom of it. I mean, not the whole rail, but the mount that's on the bottom. It was originally designed as a mount for photography, to go on a tripod.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? I did not know that. A lot of the rifles have that now. A lot of the precision shooting rifles.
Yeah.
On the rails.
So do you know what it's called?
I don't.
It's an ARCA mount.
ARCA. I was going to say ARCA mount.
Some people call it an ARCA Swiss mount. ARCA, and then Swiss, like the country. So now your next step is going to be, and this is kind of interesting here, to pick up something like this. You're gonna have to find someone to send you an ARCA Swiss mount that you can put on a bipod, tripod, monopod, fixed mount, wherever you want to put it. But you see, it's got that really wide set of lips that will clamp on the on the bottom of the rail. It's a big flat, so you can put it forward, backwards, slide it around. You have multiple things clamped on there. It's a really neat system that has a lot. It has a very high surface area for the connection.
I'm excited that it's tan. So
I thought you were going to say, I'm excited to finally have something with an ARCA mount, and you said that it's tan.
Yeah,
and yes,
I don't know what I'm gonna put. I don't know what I'm gonna mount on what I would put on the bottom of it.
I mean,
a bipod,
right.
I'm sure.
Right. It's for mounting a bipod or a monopod or a tripod, or mounting it on a swing arm or a turret.
Oh, geez.
Now
I have to buy a Humvee so I can.
You knew it was going to happen.
That's the way it works. Now I have to buy a Humvee so I can mount this on the swing arm of the Humvee.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty solid chain of events you're talking about there. So anyhow, from 5150, and I believe the word was that it is in motion. It has been boxed. It has left the building. It is on the way to the FFL, where TJ can go pick it up as soon as
I've got the tan shroud for the True Vision from Meprolite that's going to go on there. That he gave me that tan shroud for that.
Man, this is going to be like 12 kinds of sexiness all wrapped together.
Yeah. So I already got that, so I'm excited about that.
She's a good looking rifle.
Yeah.
When it shows up, you have to ask Keith if he wants to come on the show and talk about it. Talk about what they changed and some of the design philosophy behind changing.
They did he did some stuff with the cam so it's lockable now. It doesn't. It used to spin. I guess it's spun a little bit more. Now it locks when it's supposed to, or locks in the position it's supposed to be. So,
yep. Sweet. All right. Well, that's pretty cool. I'm excited.
There we go.
That has arrived and is in the queue. All right. Let's see. I'm going to put this on the screen briefly, just so that we can make the announcement. The little pop-up banner says Floor Guns. Floor Guns is a segment that we have been doing for probably 9 months, where because we're not located like right beside my secure gun room and TJ's not right beside his safe, we would, before the show starts, we'd go get guns out of the safe and set them on the floor beside us so that we could pick them up and show them and talk about them during the show. So because we were reaching down, picking them up off the floor, people started saying, "What, you got guns all over the floor? How many guns you got on the floor?" We started calling them floor guns. That was the name of the segment.
I live in Florida. We got guns everywhere.
Because of the craziness going on within YouTube, and they're really going after gun tubers. Anyway, if you talk about guns at all on a channel, like we could get kicked off of YouTube even without showing you a gun, just because we talk about them, just because we show pictures of them, whatever. And God forbid, apparently, if you screw a silencer onto the end of a barrel or insert an empty magazine in a gun, and that's straight to hell with you, apparently. So in an effort to try to avoid having the entire Gear Report multimedia empire banished from the YouTubes right now, I mean, we all know it's going to happen eventually, but I'm not quite ready for that. We have decided we will no longer do floor guns, at least for now. If the rules change, maybe floor guns can come back. But for now, we'll show pictures, we'll show videos if we want to do something. We will not handle firearms live on the screen. Okay. And why? Where are they getting pressure for this? 3 yos, OB. Come on. That's 2 yos. He's waiting to make a dramatic third yo, isn't he?
Yes, it's going to be yo.
You know how he works.
I know.
Yep. We haven't had our Boo ATF up there yet this show. That is an oversight on my part. I apologize. We all feel it. I'll believe it.
I can do the banners too. I'll drop the ball a little bit too.
Yeah. So let's see. Everyone's favorite, best, happiest, most anticipated segment of the show is finally here. Guitar-mageddon.
I knew it. I knew it.
I actually don't have any new guitars.
What? Oh no.
I know, man.
Oh no, no guitars to talk about. What a
so much
crappy
more stuff would have
day.
been published if I hadn't been playing so much guitar the last couple of days.
Everybody senses. No, he's still gonna grab one. Dang it.
Well, dude, it's a popular segment. I can't let the people down, because we know that there are people who it's like their whole identity is wrapped up in being able to participate and talk with us about the Guitar-mageddon segment. So I don't want to let those people down. We have seen before.
Not Gary.
Gary, come on.
Gary's like, I'm out of here.
We've seen this Epiphone Les Paul custom before. It's similar to, right behind us, you see a Gibson Les Paul. That is a tribute series. It's the more basic model of the USA made. This is a Chinese made Epiphone. The one on the back wall is like $1,000 guitar. This is more like a $600 or $700 guitar, but it's fancier. It's a copy. If this were a Gibson, it'd be like a $3,500 or $4,000 guitar. So this one is the cheap copy, and it plays amazing. It has become my favorite guitar lately, although the pickups are a little bit lacking on high-end treble. So I made some adjustments to the pull heights on the neck pickup today to try to increase that and balance out the sound, make it a little bit punchier. And I haven't decided. I haven't hardly played it since I did that, So I'll play it tomorrow and evaluate whether that helped enough. If it didn't, I'm going to be swapping some pickups, and then we'll be able to talk about that next week.
I understood none of that you just said. Total gobbledygook. But hey, glad you like it.
Yes. Yeah.
It also plays good. That's all I care about.
All right.
I like when you get like a $200 guitar and it plays as good as $1,000 guitar, and you're like, that's right.
Well, that's the neat thing, because that one, I had bought a guitar for $130. I traded that guitar for this white one and an amp. I sold that amp a week and a half ago for like $350. And plus I kept that guitar. That I have it listed for like, actually, I think I took it down. I had it listed for $550, and that was a little on the high side. And I thought that'll keep someone from buying it. And then I realized I liked it too much. It's like, you know what? If someone buys it, I'm going to be pissed. So I took it down. It's no longer for sale at this moment. Most of my guitars are for sale and available. Some of them are high because it's like, that's what it's worth to me. If you want it bad enough, you can have it, but you better want it pretty bad because it's expensive.
I've heard that before.
Yeah, really. What is he saying here? Will it help make this segment more interesting? Well, what? I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Could it make this more interesting?
No.
This is a pretty darn interesting segment.
It is. I'm just getting all choked up with it.
I know. So there it goes. It's gone. We're going to take Guitar-mageddon off the screen. Everyone's favorite segment has now ended. We can go back to your regularly scheduled program.
Regular crappy TJ's Happy Hour.
Whoa. No. I did not say that. I
Whatever. You were thinking it.
Say that.
He was thinking it. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah. Well, no, I wasn't thinking that. Come on. Let's be reasonable here for once. For once, we're going to be reasonable.
I'll try to be.
So I also would like everyone to be aware. I'd like to make everyone aware that we have been publishing a whole bunch of videos on various different channels. They're mainly the shorts variety. We've also been posting some interesting images on, like Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. And I just want people to understand the ATF is not your friend. They are doing some really dastardly things and trying to trick people into doing things that are not in your best interest. I would caution everyone, do your research. Don't just listen to what a couple people tell you. Like, go find some legal experts, listen to them, understand the trap that has been set. I say trap. Is multiple traps. It is a wide range of traps. And I'll tell you, the last information that I have heard from the various different legal experts, it feels like a solid catch-22. Like there is literally not a path forward that is safe.
Right.
In terms, I'm talking about the new rules about pistol braces. There is not a risk-free path forward. So be very careful. Do real research. Don't just get, the people that are driving me nuts are the ones who are like, oh yeah, free tax stamps. Like, no, go read the rules on the free tax stamps. They're not free. And
I see my shadow every day, Gary. I live in Florida.
The things you have to do to qualify for them, most people who are assuming they're going to be able to submit them, they're going to find out that they're rejected because they didn't actually meet all the qualifications. Just having some lowers in your safe doesn't mean that you can go register them. That legally, they're looking to entrap people for submitting false information to try to register things that weren't already pistols. And there are various things that it appears the ATF has set up to try to entrap people. So be super careful about that stuff, please.
I mean, that wasn't the first thing I was going to do with all my lowers that were unassembled.
Yeah. And so the other thing that I would say is, especially if you have a channel, like we do here, I wouldn't talk about what you're going to do. Like you can talk about, I think it's absolutely fine to generalize about the law and how it impacts people in general. If you let's say you plan on ignoring it, I wouldn't broadcast that, or you plan on complying with it, I probably wouldn't broadcast that either. I think it's best to just talk in generalizations and not give anyone any ammunition to try to use against you, because it's a government. They're not here to help. Okay.
Yeah.
So anyhow, that is my unsolicited, non-legal advice, because I'm not an attorney, and if you take my legal advice, you are stealing. What's the dude's name that says that?
I have no idea.
What is it, like CRS Firearms or something like that? Crazy dude that carries a paddle around and points at his little neon whiteboard.
I don't watch him. I should watch him.
He's entertaining, definitely. Okay, so
all right,
that wraps up all of our pre-programmed content.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're solidly into TJ's happy hour. What shall we talk about?
Oh, geez, she's listening. I can't get away from her. Not even for a few minutes.
Trouble's here.
Okay, now I got to behave. I got to quit talking about it.
Oh my! So today I spent the bulk of the day doing follow-up from SHOT Show, and this is something that I don't want to send notes immediately getting back from SHOT. I think I waited a little bit too long. I got wrapped up in some personal and family things that distracted me, and unfortunately, that white devil behind me here stole my attention a couple days last week, and I didn't get all that stuff out in time. Now we're before what is it called? The Great Outdoors Show, or whatever that one up in Pennsylvania is. That's like 9 days. I think a bunch of brands are heading there, and it starts on the 4th. So people are probably starting traveling right as I sent these out. So hopefully some of the folks that I sent it to aren't going to those things. But I probably sent, what would you say, like 18 or 20 or so follow-ups.
I was like, oh, look at all the emails. I was like, oh, they're just Jeff sending out emails.
Lots of proposals going out to brands for reviews, for inviting people on this program, inviting brands to come on and talk about their stuff. We may have some weeks where we have one brand come on, talk about their brand, the scope of their products, what they offer, all that stuff. We may have some weeks where we have multiples. Oh, you just got called out.
I know.
Did you see that? You just got called out. All right. I'm going to click on something here. Crystal, yo, 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 exclamation point. 3 yo's is the prescribed appropriate way to say hello on this program. Crystal did exactly that, and she did it with enthusiasm. Crystal, I'm sorry. I didn't call you out for doing it the right way. TJ was going off on some tangent about staying out of trouble, and I thought, ooh, trouble. Listen, I've been married long enough to know you hear someone talking about marital landmines. It's like, I'm out. I don't need to be a part of that conversation. But I was remiss and did not congratulate you for the appropriate greeting. All right.
There you go.
Lots of people being nice in there, back and forth with Crystal. So
I know. Everybody's so pleasant with her.
Yeah. It's because she's nice. I feel like I'm just a little out of focus. I'm trying to fix it. I don't think that helped. No, I'm even more blurry.
Dude.
But I'll tell you what, you know where I look friggin' amazing right now?
Where?
In the podcast. Oh, there we go. There we go. All sharpened up.
There you go. Look at that. Man. He's all crisp now. You can see all the stubble.
Oh, look at that. I'm not in trouble this time. All right. Thank you, Crystal.
There you go.
Declaring
That's a good day for you.
I am not in trouble this time. I've already been in trouble this evening. I've already been in trouble this evening.
Oh, okay.
Oh my goodness. For not doing anything wrong. That's why I was in trouble. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a whole nother topic. Let's see here. Yeah, we don't need to go down that road.
We don't have time for that. Everybody's going to bail. They're like, we don't want to hear Jeff's problems.
Yeah. I mean, people got their own problems. They don't need to hear my problems.
I know.
So, upcoming stuff, I've started getting notes from folks. I got one from Tandem Cross today about the NRA show that is mid-April. So I believe that's probably the week before the and I need to put a calendar together for Gear Report to track all of the things we do, because Humvee Gear Report Firearms will be represented at NRAM, we call it, the NRA Annual Meetings and Exposition in Indianapolis, Indiana. And that's going to be mid-April. Towards the next, I believe it's the next weekend, is the Denton Military Vehicle Show at the Denton Farm Park in Denton, North Carolina. So I will be there as usual with one of our command tents set up as Gear Report headquarters, and we'll have the Battlewagon 3 there on display, looking dead sexy, because that's what we do when we go to that event. So those are coming up in April. Before that, we have the gathering, the event that was created by so this is going to be interesting. I don't know if we're allowed to talk about this yet, but no one told me not to talk about it at this point. I was told it'll be a week or two before things are announced, but Chad Wiley, the CEO at Palmetto State Armory, created the gathering event, and him and Logan, the head of marketing, ran that event for the 2 years that it's happened so far. And then I ran into Chad walking through. TJ and I ran into Chad. It wasn't just me. I don't even remember what casino we were in.
I don't know. They all blend together. It's a nightmare.
Link. We were in the Link, maybe. I don't know. We were in one of the casinos in Vegas, like away from SHOT Show one night. Just walking, and I look over to the side, like I see someone kind of looking at me. Like, that's odd. And I kind of glance over to the side, and I hear, "Oh, hey, man!" And it's Chad from Palmetto State Armory, and first thing he said, "Hey, I'm not with PSA anymore." So it's like, oh, that's interesting. And he didn't tell me. I didn't ask. I was like, you know what? If he wants to tell me what company he's going to, he will.
Yep.
And if he doesn't, then, he's a smart guy. I'm not going to put him on the spot. He either tells me or he doesn't. And he did not volunteer that information, so I didn't ask for it. So, but he said he was going to another gun company. So since Chad was the driving force behind the gathering event, I'm wondering if anything's going to change with it happening this year.
Yeah.
But is that in May? I think I'm going to look it up.
Good. I was going to scroll across and then hit my clickety-clackety keyboard to look it up, but then I know that would annoy you. So. And everybody listening would get annoyed by my clickety-clack keyboard.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, you don't have to hit the keys that hard, I guess. I don't know.
No, it just makes it.
Oh, it's March. Yeah. It is March. That is the video from last year. I haven't looked at that video. I watched it at one point, but I'm pretty sure that at least at one point in that video that you see the Battlewagon 3 in the background somewhere, if I remember right. Or maybe it doesn't. But regardless, it's a really cool event. We'll be there in March. So, geez, we're in February already. Yeah. So coming up next month, we'll be at the gathering, and then maybe the truck wasn't visible in that. But anyhow, and then in April, we're going to be busy with a couple events, and we'll see what else we end up doing. We had some other, we had a couple brands that we talked about visiting and actually doing some factory tour visits, interviews, that kind of thing.
Those are always got a couple.
TJ's got some Florida brands he may go check out. I've got a couple in and around North Carolina that I may check out. Could end up at Maxim Defense at some point doing some touring there. I'm not sure. They do a lot of contract. They contract out a lot of their manufacturing, so I'm not sure there's a ton to see there. But who knows? We may end up there at some point. Rampart. I didn't mean to have that on the screen. I'm trying to figure out who they are because I have a card from them and I don't remember what we talked about. So I'm gonna have to go through my notes and figure all that out.
That happens a lot after SHOT Show.
Well, it really does. And I got to figure out where I put all my cards because I took them. I was at my youngest is a competitive swimmer, and I was at her swim meet last weekend. And while she was not yet in the water, waiting for her turn, I pulled out cards and was scanning them with CamCard so that I could get them into the database to track all the different who I talked to and everything. I don't know where I put them. Like they're probably in my laptop bag, which is, not on the third floor where my office is. It is on another floor of the building. So
you're a mess.
Oh, thoroughly. I do have in my NSSF reporter's notebook some notes on a few things. I have multiple vintages of reporter's notebooks here. The old school.
I got that one.
Yep. One of the many services provided by the fine folks at the National Shooting Sports Foundation is when they invite media to cover SHOT Show, they provide us with pens and notebooks.
Yes.
As well
you
as
should go and get one every day when you're in the press room.
Indeed, or more.
Come in handy.
Yep.
That adds the weight coming home too.
Did you have a card? Did you have the card for Foxtrot Mike?
Yep.
Okay, good. Because you need to follow up with that, and I need to follow up with Mike at M+M because they have a new plus model of their. I can't remember what they call that. See if we can get him on the podcast. Man, he has got some interesting stories.
Yes, Snob. I'm old school. Remember.
So how I did it is I took the bulk of the notes that I took were on the business cards as we got them. And this was an experiment this year. In prior years, I wrote everything in these notebooks up until last year. Last year, I started taking some notes in Google Keep on my phone. And this year, I kind of split it between taking notes on cards, Google Keep, and taking notes in the notebook. And really, the only times I took notes in the notebooks when we were in a meeting. Like if it was just talking to someone in a booth, then I wasn't anticipating taking enough notes that it would be worthwhile to pull out a notebook. But when we met with Kat at Global Ordnance, when we met with Dave at Maxim Defense, those may be the only times I got the notebook out, really. A couple other little times I just took a note real quick when I couldn't decide which phone to use, which happened a lot, apparently.
Every time I went to take a picture, damn, wrong phone.
Yep. My son asked,
walking around with like 3 iPhones.
My son came up to the office yesterday and he saw this board sitting off beside my desk and said, "So, you ever gonna do that Battlefield Vegas video?" And I said, "Really?" And he says, "Well, I don't know. It's just what's on the board." So I have that little whiteboard here to remind me that I have some Battlefield Vegas videos. Actually, lots of
just a few.
Just a few, like
one for every vehicle.
Pretty much. A lot of those are going to be shorts that won't be edited. They'll just be uploaded. But we do have some, I keep wanting to call it adult video, like we have kid video,
listen.
vertical, horizontal video that is, what mature people do.
All right. Say that. Don't say adult video. I'm just,
although maybe the show gets more viewers if we call it adult video.
Maybe we can do. Yeah. $20 is $20.
I actually, yeah, I actually know what a Rolodex is, Gary. Although I do not keep business cards.
Gary would know what one is. Come on now.
I know. I'll tell you what I do for organization. I put them in a Ziploc bag and write what the event was on that Ziploc bag, and then they sit in a pile on my desk. User Gary says, "Adult video? ? Now you have my attention.
Now you have my attention. See?
Yep.
And Snob is scoffing at you, saying, "Jesus."
He called me Jesus.
Yeah, he's about the Ziplocs, I'm sure.
Oh, you know what? I'm wondering in StreamYard. So I'm going to change how this looks to see. It doesn't say who we are.
It does not.
Something
but they should know. They should know by now.
Something that we had in what was it called? Melon app was we could toggle something that would put our names on the screen, and I do not see that anywhere. Although it lets us play background music, so let's try that real quick. And hopefully,
you're in for a treat.
That sounds pretty good.
And you know what you need? You need some soundboards so you can do effects and stuff.
No, I don't want to do that. But I'm looking at, like, I literally have 10 guitars within.
I feel like this should be the theme song for the guitar.
And then some behind me, like, oh, now I want to play. Okay, that's on half volume. I'm going to turn it up just so I can watch it in replay. Oh, okay. So when we take the banner down, then it will show who we are. All right, that's half volume. I'm going to turn it all the way up.
You guys are just a giant experiment out there. Jeff just wants to hear what it sounds like.
All right, that's 10%. So what we'll do is I'll go back. That's 20%. 43. Get up. There's 50 again. And I'm going to turn it off, I think. Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
That's a new feature in StreamYard. So that is something that came about since we left StreamYard before.
StreamYard's getting all fancy up in here.
Yeah. All right. Gary saying when we take the banner down. So let's see what happens. Let's take the banner down.
Oh,
look at that. Now we see who's here. That's awesome.
The title again. See? I am TJ.
Gary is here. Gary is here to help us figure out how to use the tool that we're using to broadcast, because we didn't figure it out before we started the broadcast. But I did. I spent an hour once we moved back to StreamYard. I went and loaded the new background, which I'm going to go ahead and pull us both off the screen for a sec so people can see the new background.
And if you're listening,
and we're back.
No idea what it looks like.
Yeah.
It's spectacular.
Well, I'll tell you what it looks like. It's got all 5 of the Gear Report, all 5 of the current Gear Report banners. So that's Gear Report Humvees, Gear Report Firearms, Guitar Gear Report, Camping Gear Report, and then the old school Gear Report reviews. Yeah. The Gun Snob says, "Yay, I was confused on who was who." Yeah. I stay confused. So that's all right. All right, things that are coming. Another interesting discussion today because I really need to finish up the Grand Power P40L 10mm handgun review. We got some additional ammo a couple weeks ago from our friends at True Shot Gun Club, who I'm not even sure if they're there anymore. I heard a rumor that both of those fine gentlemen had left the company one way or another. So hopefully that's not the case because they're nice guys. We liked working with them there. Or hopefully it is the case that they're not there anymore because they're going to move on to something bigger and better. It makes them happy. I don't know. I want whatever they want. So anyhow, Underwood, that's a company, right?
Yep.
Underwood Ammo.
Yeah.
Underwood Ammo. We were just walking by And this giant of a dude named Caleb comes over and says, "Hey, you guys are media. You need any 10 millimeter?" I was like, oh my God, it's like a big version of Dave Chappelle doing his, "Hey, you got any of that there cocaine? Like you need any of this 10 millimeter?" And it's like 10 millimeter. Yes. I could
Jeff's
use
like,
some 10
I
millimeter.
need some of that 10 millimeter.
Yeah. You got any more of that there 10 millimeter? So we had a little chat today with a couple emails going back and forth, and a variety of 10 millimeter. They have 22 different types of 10 millimeter on the
I told
menu
you, they've
right
got,
now at Underwood Ammo. It
they've got
blew me
some
away.
ammo, dude.
Dude, they had all
Told
different
you.
types. They had wad cutters. They had semi
Brass
wad cutters.
solids. They got
They had full metal jacket. They had various flavors of hollow point. They had monolithic copper projectiles that have a little cross point that looks like the end of a Phillips head screwdriver. 22
they
different
have
varieties.
stuff I haven't even heard of yet.
I think that we're talking about 10 millimeter, and I believe the lowest weight projectile they had was like 100 grains for a 10 millimeter. And then it went up to like 200 or 220 or something. And I was like, dude, this is crazy. And he's, well, what do you want? It's like, well, I said, here's what I'm doing. You send what you want. And the more you send, the more different stuff I can test in the gun to see if it works. And who knows? If they send a bunch of cool stuff, I'm probably going to go invest in some fruits and vegetables and see how explosive we can make them when we hit them with the various different rounds.
Or at least some ballistic gel or something.
That sounds neat to me. He called you out. Rod at Aegis Gun Care just called out TJ for having an enema bag hanging behind him.
I drink a lot. And I've gotten to that point. I'm 53. It's just, I'm going downhill. My health is fit. No, it is a MyMedic. That's the MyMedic MyFac Mini.
And I think that
Pro.
the case that it's in is somewhat similar to this
the orange
one, which is the Sidekick. It's
my lighting sucks, Rod. All right, I'm working on it.
I think it's a different size, a little bit different configuration, but it's somewhat similar to this. It's just a med kit hanging there, as far as you know. Yeah, you got the Pro one. Holy crap! Look at how thick that is. Yes. Yeah, that's a neat kit. See, I kind of feel like we shortchanged MyMedic by giving them the Gear of the Year award for best first aid kit for this little Sidekick. I kind of feel like the one that you have probably would have won. Should have won. Oh, I'm not hearing you now. What happened? Oh, did you roll around and unplug?
I rolled around, yeah. It kicked back in. No, I like the little one because it can fit in most of my range bags. That one's, it takes up some space.
Yours?
I mean, if you've got a Molly bag,
we should have got the other ones. Like I should have got the one you have. You should have got the one I have. It sounds like.
I mean, I've got one of the ones you have. I like that little one.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. I like that one.
Gizzard Gary, I can answer that for you.
It is an IV pole back there.
It is an IV pole. TJ, see, whenever I am at TJ's house, that's my room. The broadcast room is known as Jeff's room, and or at least that's what I believe it's known as. And he has that in there because I am not smart enough to know when to stop drinking, and sometimes I need an IV to.
We've got an IV Jeff the next day to bring him back to at least where he can function.
Yeah. All right, so we talked about upcoming events and things. We don't have anything else to do in February, as far as I know. Like we're not scheduled to go anywhere. We're not doing celebrity appearances anywhere that I'm aware of.
Not yet. I'm working on it.
Yeah. So, and I'll be busy. One of the other areas of content that we may have to ramp up next year on Gear Report is, or maybe sooner, is swimming gear report, because I've been doing some swimming, which actually I think I'm going to start again on Monday. I haven't swam in a month, because I was sick before shot. I was sick after shot. And I had this nagging cough that if I'm swimming and I cough, I'm afraid I'd like choke and drown. So, but I think Monday I'm going to start swimming again.
We may not make it to Swimming Gear Report. We'll see.
I know it. Yeah. But my youngest is this weekend, Saturday, she has the state championships that she'll be participating in. So maybe this time next week we'll be congratulating my youngest as a state champion swimmer.
Nice.
And then that is the high school state championships, and then she's got some of the year-round swimming regionals, and hopefully she'll make it to nationals this year. Stuff coming up. So the next month and a half is going to be packed with that and college trips. She's got one of her scholarship offers to swim somewhere, and she's working on a couple others, and we may be driving, visiting some more schools. So it's good that we don't have a lot coming up, because I think I'm going to be busy. But my oldest is a swim coach. My youngest is a swim coach and about to be a college swimmer. So Swimming Gear Report may start generating some more content here shortly. And if so, that background image may have to be updated with a new logo. I'm gonna have to figure out what to put on that logo.
Jeff in a Speedo.
No, goggles. That'll be it. We'll put goggles up there.
All right, thank God, because I didn't want it to be Jeff in a Speedo. Just saying.
I don't wear a Speedo.
All right.
No, it's banana hammock or nothing. No, actually, I wear something they're called jammers, and they're like spandex shorts that are a little bit longer. They go most of the way to the knee, and
everybody have visual now.
I'm trying to decide how much I want to say about this. How much
are they? They're just spandex going down the knee. They're tight. We don't.
They're tight. Yeah, and I'm trying to decide, how do I want to talk about this? Like, I'm not ashamed of wearing them. I'm not too shy about wearing them, which kind of bothers my kids, I think. But I also am not looking to like post pictures of me wearing them either, because that would be weird. And
kids, get some pictures of that.
So I wear them because that's what people wear when they're doing this kind of swimming. And I have been training pretty hard up until I quit training a month ago when I got sick. And if things go well, maybe in 6 months or so, I'll start competing. We'll see. I think I'm a little old for the Olympics, but who knows? Well, no, that's out of the question. I'm a terrible swimmer.
Yeah. You don't know.
All right.
It can be broken down in age groups.
Well, that's a good point. Yeah. I may not be the worst person ever in my age group since I am aging a bit.
There's a basketball tournament. The guys that showed me the book, and it's broken down from 50 to 55, 55 to 60, 60 to 65, and up to 80. Yeah.
Wow.
And it's and you go all over the country to play. And I'm like,
wow, man, that's kind of hard to swallow, because I was playing on what we called the old man league hockey team. It was 10, 15 years ago. I was one of the young guys on the team, like 35 or something. And we played against a traveling team that was made up mostly, they were all Canadians, and they were either from junior teams, which is kind of like semi-pro, not like what we call junior teams here. Like, they're much more hardcore. They're franchises. They draft. It's a different animal up there. There were junior teams and pro teams, and I remember that the game we played against them, I was a center, and I would face off often against a guy that had been a NHL All-Star multiple years. And that he was toying with me, and like, I'm serious. I'm trying to win that face off, and he would just like, yeah, whatever. And then boom, take the puck from me. It was embarrassing. But that was neat, because that was when I lived in Raleigh. and Ron Francis was the captain of the Carolina Hurricanes NHL team at the time, and he came to watch that game because the guy that I was playing against used to be on the same line with Ron Francis playing for the Pittsburgh Penguins. So that team, you talk about a traveling team of old people, their goalie was like 78 years old, and we got to the point where we're like, okay, we would put rules in place like, okay, you have to pass the puck 3 times before you can shoot it, because the guy would go down to try to get it and it'd take him a minute to get back up. Like literally it would take him a minute of struggle to get to where he was standing up again. And we had 3 passes, we have 4 passes, we have 5 passes. Eventually we were like, you know what, just don't shoot the damn thing, because we were running the score up and it was bad. But that guy, he didn't care. He's like, I'm still playing.
Yep.
And after the game, we thought he'd be all depressed and pissed off. And, you know, we were at the bar after the game and he was thrilled. He was exhausted, but he was thrilled. Like, yep, still out here doing it. So
yeah, he played to the best of his abilities, and he was happy.
Yep.
That's where I'm at. If I have a good game, I'm happy. Sometimes I come home and like I didn't play as good as I thought I should have.
Gotcha. I can't relate to that, but
and then Killian calls me.
People have games like that.
And then Killian calls me a loser and all kinds of mean things.
Yeah, he's just mean.
He is. God, such a good kid.
Yeah. All right. So what we have coming, actually, you know what? You took a bunch of video that we should have got the computer out and pulled all those files off onto my computer.
I do have some video.
We're gonna have to figure out, like, give me access to where you back it up online so I can download those. Only give me permission to the SHOT Show folder. I don't need to see any of your nasty videos or anything.
You don't want to see them.
No, but
well, you kind of do. You do. It's okay.
But I would like to get the SHOT Show videos because we have some interviews and booth stuff, and I've got another half a day probably of sending out initial shot follow-up, and then I'm going to move into more hardcore video editing mode and hardcore.
You gonna play metal music up there while you're editing videos? Dude,
so it's funny you say that, because before the show started,
you seemed
confused because I had Led Zeppelin playing kind of loud at my desk before we started the show. And I was listening to some old Led Zeppelin today and was shocked at how diverse it was. It was not as heavy as I had remembered it when I was a kid. It was some of it was just plain bizarre. But anyhow.
There you go.
So keep an eye on all the various different video channels. I mean, I keep referring to them as YouTube channels because we got a bunch of them. But, you know, we're also on Odyssey and a bunch of places. Rumble, I think we got 4 or 5 channels on Rumble. You know, one for Humvee Gear Report, Camping Gear Report, Gear Report Firearms, Gear Report Guitars, regular Gear Report. We got all those. So keep an eye on all those because we're going to have lots and lots of videos coming out. And I've got 2 more videos from Ryan. We shared his first camping gear review today. Over the next week or 2, I'm not going to drop them like 3 in a row. I'll give it maybe a few days or a week and then drop his next one, and then give it another week and drop his next one. I've got several different people who have submitted some reviews are in the queue. I've got 2 or 3 or 4 more videos from Jason, mostly Humvee stuff. I know he's got a Streamlight flashlight review,
nice.
Which should make, you know, Gun Snob should finally be off my back on Streamlight, because I didn't just give him an introduction. I put him on a silver platter and handed him to the marketing goddess at Streamlight and said, "This is the Gun Snob. He is going to make all your dreams come true." So he better not let me down.
Actually, what he said.
He better not let me down and ruin my reputation, because I've worked very hard, as far as you know.
Yeah, he has.
Oh, look at that. But I read it, and my initial thought was, well, of course you do. Streamlight flashlights are awesome. So Obnoxious One says, I too like Streamlights, ... And
There you go.
and I'm sitting here thinking, well, okay, why didn't he come? Everyone knows that you go to SHOT Show and C4 Sarge and OB, Obnoxious One, and the Gun Snob are connected at the hip. Like they go everywhere together. They're always together, right? I summoned Snob to Streamlight to make that introduction.
You put up the Snob signal up in the first floor.
I did, yeah. And sure enough, he showed up, and we made that introduction. And if OB or Sarge would have come, I would have given them a somewhat similarly positive introduction. Oh, look at this. Oh, it's too little. You can't really see it. All right, let me make me bigger. How do I do that? Solo layout. You can kind of see it. If anyone recognizes, that is a guitar pick with the logo of our new friends, Paul and Jared Merkel, who run the Student of the Gun. So, all right, how do I do that? There we go. So that was funny. We were out one evening at SHOT Show with my buddy Scott, who is one of the owners at Avant Link, the affiliate network. So most years we end up at a cigar bar with Scott at least one night. So TJ and Scott can smoke their cigars. Yeah. So Gizzard Gary says Markle. Did I say Merkel? Markle? I don't know what I said, but it's Markle, Jared and Paul. And he introduced me to Paul's other son, his younger son, and he just blipped in real quick. Oh, hey, how you doing? And he left. And I honestly, his name escaped me. If you met Paul in the media room, you probably saw that he likes to wear a kilt around SHOT Show. And frankly, that weirded me out. So, I don't know exactly what to say about that other than, but we got to hang out with them. It's neat to meet. It is neat. It's interesting to meet people that you meet at SHOT Show, because Paul's been around for years, and Jared helps him, and they run some reasonably high profile, written and video and other publication stuff. So it was neat to kind of hang with them for a little while. Yeah. And to get a couple of guitar picks with the Student of the Gun logo on them. He had them made just for me, is what he said.
That's what I heard.
That's what I heard. Maybe it's because I said it. Oh, yeah. I bet it is because I said it. Dang it. Okay. with that, I will remind people, check out the different social accounts and video and podcast places for all the new content that we have coming out, and the main Gear-Report.com website, because we're about to have a veritable flood, a plethora, a myriad of additional new, exciting, well-written, very valuable, very interesting content. You're going to be excited. No one does content like we do content.
Right. Nobody can content like us. Come on now.
It's going to be exciting. That's just all I'm saying right now. I anticipate this one, or maybe next week, will be the last where it's just TJ and I. I anticipate I invited lots and lots of brands today. I'm going to continue inviting brands tomorrow. I anticipate that we're going to be booked up and have one or two brands on each week for a while until we kind of get caught up on that. So if anyone out there, any of our content creator friends, would like to be part of the panel when we have these other brands on, then shoot me a note. Send up the bat signal or whatever. I think Snob is talking about the media person at Streamlight. But that's okay, because he's got the introduction, and now he knows who to reach out to and how to reach out. And with a personal referral, he will be welcomed into the Streamlight reviewer family. I guarantee.
Guarantee.
Yeah.
Just checking his phone.
Well, yeah, it kept dinging at me. My scout unit is in the midst of rechartering, and someone was telling me his son is no longer going to be a part of the unit, which I had already anticipated. But okay, so with that, I think we're going to shut her down. So thanks everyone for being here. We really appreciate the comments, most of them, except for that one. I really didn't appreciate that one, but all the rest of them were pretty good. We will be back next Thursday and most other Thursdays, 9 p.m. on the East Coast. Geez, Chuck, would you stop texting me, bruh? I'm in the middle of a show. So we're back every Thursday, 9 p.m. on the East Coast. And then once the show's done, give me an hour or two to pull the audio and upload it. And then you will find it on, I'm not going to say it's every podcast platform in the world.
Pretty much.
This ain't Clover Tack, man. But it will be on lots of them. So you'll be able to download.
We haven't made it to Turkey yet, but...
well, I don't know if we have. I mean, Spotify is in Turkey, right? Apple Podcasts.
Yeah. All right.
Pandora.
We're catching up with Clover now.
iHeartRadio. Stitcher. What was the one that I'd never heard of before? Let me see. No, it's not. It's not on that page. I don't remember.
Rod said you can silence your phone.
What?
That's what Rod said. He said.
So you know what happens? I'll tell you why I am reticent to do that is I forget to turn it back on, and then my alarm doesn't wake me up in the morning.
Yep, so I'm the same boat. Like I silenced everything but my alarm on my phone
because I can just listen to the ding.
That's fine.
So what brings me a modicum of joy in this scenario is every time it dings when this is in replay, people are going to look at their phones like, oh, did I get a message?
Right. They're going, what?
Ding. Oh, did I get a message? And I'll be like, yeah. So the things that amuse me these days.
Doesn't take much.
All right. So let's see. We're sharing the screen. We'll stop that. So I think I just clicked the Leave Studio button and we're done. Well, I have an iPhone, but it depends on how you have your silent settings configured. You know what I mean? Like in default mode, maybe the alarm still goes off, but if you change the settings, it doesn't.
I can change each one of my volumes, and I leave my alarm on all the time though, because I've done that before. Shut them all down for the show, and woke up the next day like an hour late, like,
yeah. Or the phone rings, or there are various other things. If I forget to turn it back on,
right,
it causes me problems the next day. So I just try not to silence it ever, unless I absolutely have to. Okay, with that, thank you so much for being here.
Yep.
We love each and every one of you from the bottom of our hearts, as far as you know. And we will be back next week. Gary says no, just click end stream, I believe, or end. I'm going to click leave studio and we'll see what happens. Until next time, we'll see you at the range. No, there's two buttons. I click on leave studio and it says leave studio ? Are you sure you want to leave the broadcast? Like, bruh, my finger's getting tired. Of course I want to leave the broadcast. I already pulled my finger down. All right. No, put it back up there, dude.
Come on, dude.
Is it up?
It's up.
All right, now I'm going to hit it.
All right.